Welcome to the Fluff exhibitions and welcome to some SCP reading. I just now saw this and I really apologize to JazzaDude88. Thank you so much for the follow that you did 5 days ago. I'm not sure if you did and I didn't see it, or if I did see it and I just completely was immersed in the experience. I think 5 days ago was a Wednesday, so like that should have been when I was with Lexi, I assume. And I'm just dumb. It might have happened, I just don't remember it. But in case I didn't say thank you so much. Henry's here. Henry's here with us. Window capture. Yes, here we go. And get rid of this and don't stop. Please don't stop the music. We're finishing the 800s. Let me check something real quick. I'm not gonna be able to make the thumbnail in time, but I can upload it and then get the, well, not upload it. I can prepare the upload for this stream tomorrow on YouTube. Okay. Let's see who is online. That could maybe. I think everybody's kind of busy doing their own thing. What is she streaming right now? Let's see here. Oh, she plays Smite. La, 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 la. There, just gonna give her a quick text saying that I didn't. Alright. Okay, everything's on. Might as well just get started. Here we go. Here we go, go. The rocket surgeon. So, usually you would say we're not a rocket scientist, but this guy is. And he does surgery on rockets the same way surgeons do surgery on humans, but he does that with rockets. And somehow, it works. That's my theory. Man, the rating numbers are getting hot. They're getting hot. SCP-890 is currently housed at Site 17. SCP-890 is to be kept in a 5x6 meter cell furnished with a bed, a nightstand, 2 bookcases complete with medical textbooks, and a writing desk, all of which were originally furnished by the subject. The subject is disallowed from contact with any mechanical, artificial, or otherwise non-living SCPs, as well as any Foundation equipment under any circumstances, except during approved surgical procedures. Any observation of SCP-890 must be done in person, and any notes taken must be on paper. Sorry if I read that a bit fast. My body had PTSD from yesterday when we had to read 887 Hypergraphia for a whole hour. Just because they had like an extra section that took 45 minutes to read. SCP-890 may have access to the medical bay for any surgeries scheduled in advance with consent of any level 4 personnel, barring emergency conditions which may arise requiring those facilities to be otherwise in use. Staff wishing to introduce an object to SCP-890 must first gain approval from level 4 personnel. Anyone attempting to meet with SCP-890 without prior approval will be subject to disciplinary measures up to transfer to a new site. In order to promote better behavior and cooperation with containment procedures, it is permissible to occasionally provide SCP-890 with a piece of intentionally damaged equipment for repair. So he gets to, like, you know, build with it, work with it. He's like, okay, I am now happy because you gave me this shit. I am now pleased. I will not sue you, even though I'm pretty sure suing the SCP Foundation is impossible, because like nobody can bring it to the light of day that the SCP Foundation exists. And even if you do tell a judge, yeah, I've been held by a foundation that has mystical, paranormal, magical beings locked up, pretty sure most judges would be like, okay, he's definitely high. He's definitely not sane. Description: SCP-890 appears to be a male Caucasian between 35 and 45 years of age and approximately 1.75 meters tall. Subject is generally unremarkable, showing typical signs of aging, except for its eyes, which are achromatic, appearing gray. Personnel should avoid mentioning this, as it seems to cause subject some distress. Subject is typically dressed in surgical scrubs, green in color, and is often seen still wearing a surgical cap and mask. Do you think him and the plague doctor could get along? Since they're always dressed up for the occasion to get rid of the pestilence. But yeah. When given a set of standard medical tools, SCP-890 is able to operate on machines as though they were composed of living flesh. Testing confirms that any medical supplies used by SCP-890 will have this effect. The subject appears to be capable of operating on any machine requiring some kind of energy to operate, whether powered by clockwork, steam, electricity, or reducted. During an operation, objects appear to be transmuted to living tissue, including skin, bone, musculature, and other organ systems, as well as blood and nervous tissue. Similarly, tissue may be removed and discarded, but will not revert to its original mechanical form. DNA testing on discarded tissue samples reveals data expunged. Tissue transmutation appears to be related to position within the object, such as outermost material becoming like skin, regardless of the type of material. Observation by Foundation medical personnel indicates that the organs present in the object do not correspond to known organs in living animals. The result of SCP-890 surgery seemed to reveal very mixed results. Listen, mixed results in normal medical surgery is already not a good thing to hear. Because you don't want to hear like, oh, how good is he with surgery? Ah, mixed results. You don't want to hear that. But with SCP properties, that could be even worse. In approximately 20% of all cases, the object may die on the table, rendering it inoperable. If such an outcome occurs, no amount of repairs, even by technicians specifically trained to maintain and repair the item, will ever return it to working condition. It can, however, be disassembled and used for parts. In some cases, complications may arise from an operation causing either unexpected or undesirable operation in the object. These can usually be corrected by SCP-890 with one or more additional procedures. She answered me? Yeah. In all cases, objects must heal for a period of time before becoming fully operable again. How long this takes appears to be dependent on how many moving parts the device has. With solid-state electronics recovering more quickly than complicated mechanical objects, recovery time is significantly shorter than expected for similarly complex procedures performed on humans, typically taking only a few hours. However, more complicated devices may require a few days to fully recover. So I wasn't that far off when I said it. He operates on rockets the same way he does with surgery, except it's not rockets, it's just anything mechanical. SCP-890 displays an unusual ability to locate objects which it claims are in need of its services. That's just the same as the witch doctor. It has the pestilence, let me add it. No, it's a perfectly healthy human being. You don't have to do anything. No, you just don't see it, man. Before performing surgery, SCP-890 will interview the object. Real logs show a typical, although one-sided surgery consult where SCP-890 asks the object several routine questions about the object's health and the nature of its problems. Afterward, SCP-890 will give a series of options to the object, make a few notes, and then report back. At no time has an object been recorded or perceived to respond to SCP-890's questioning. Subject displays an apparent apathy towards humans and other living creatures, asserting it cannot operate on animals because it's a surgeon, not a veterinarian. You heard that? You'll be safe. Although, you'll probably not be considered an animal to begin with, now that I think about it. But I was not human, so yeah, you're safe. SCP-890 came to the attention of the Foundation through the use of a routine keyword search before it was scheduled to stand trial in blank blank for the murder of Redacted on March I don't know, like 1 blank, because that could be 10, 11, 12, 13, teen blank, or blank teen, but it could also be, as I said, 10, 11, 12, because those are not teen numbers. If you understand what I'm trying to say with that. 2000 blank. Subject was performing an emergency surgery to save the life of a pacemaker killing redacted. A movement was installed in the progress. Subsequent testing revealed that the pacemaker is once again fully operational. See interview log 1 for more information, which we have open right here. And there's only 1, right? Okay. Date March 20 blank 2000 blank. SCP-890 is the interviewee and interviewer Dr. Blank. Okay. Here we go. Please state your name for the record. My name is W blank blank. Mr. Blank, what were you doing on March blank teen?
A week ago, I was performing a surgery on a patient complaining of redacted. The operation was a complete success. I do not understand what all this fuss has been about.
How did you become aware of the patient?
They're expunged, complaining of weakness and a feeling of unease.
And what about redacted?
You mean the mass of
I want it to press against my skin.
You mean the mass of flesh surrounding my patient? It certainly made the procedure a bit more tedious, but otherwise unremarkable. I've seen many such cases, in fact.
But you killed him. Is that the wrong way around? Nope, it is the right way. Oh god, I'm fucking around. I'm finding out. I did nothing of the sort. My patient not only survived, but recovered quite nicely. If you're referring to the mass surrounding the patient, I left it in place at the patient's request. I suggested it to be removed, but the patient was adamant it to be left in place, and the log. Oh, Black Betty, you're some. This is a wow, man. I feel like yes, him and the the doctor would. What was his name? Plague Doctor. Yeah, he was. His name was the Plague Doctor. They will get along. They will get along, maybe, or maybe they try to operate each other. But I'm just saying. It almost seems like they both have the same deal where they think they healed the patient, but at the end the patient's absolutely 100% dead. Gone. Just obliterated. Right, Henry? California Field is the next one. You know how in the song California Dreamin'? No, not California Dreamin'. California Girls, they say the grass is always greener. That's why I imagine it's like supposed to be a field that's like it's luscious, it's green, but it's like in the middle. It's like in an area where it's not supposed to be healthy at all. For some reason, though, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful, and makes people not want to leave, and then they die out of starvation because they're touching beautiful green grass. That's my theory. Ow. It's a low rating one, safe. SCP, Special Containment Procedures. SCP-891 is to be surrounded by 1/2 kilometer of buffer zone. Purchased by the Foundation under the guise of a peach farm. Foundation agents are to deter any civilians from entering SCP-891. A 10-meter fence is to surround SCP-891 in order to prevent unauthorized entry. Intruders discovered within the grounds of SCP-891 are to be apprehended, administrated Class A amnestics, and released. Planting vegetation of any kind in SCP-891 requires the permission of a Level 4 personnel. Apple trees are never to be planted in SCP-891. All animals that carry the potential to deposit apple seeds via fecal matter in SCP-891 are to be deterred from entering SCP-891. Any vegetation that sprouts in SCP-891 as a result of seed deposition by wind, bird, or other natural causes is to be immediately incinerated. So, You don't want anything growing there. Shame. That's a darn shame. We need more plant life, but not in the foundation world. We don't. Because certain plant life can cause some massive issues. SCP-891 is a field located in blank, California. Well, that we assumed that. It would have been weird if it wasn't. If you told me it was a field that took place in Nigeria, I'd be like, well, then why is it called California Field? The dimensions of SCP-891 are 1.5 by 1 kilometers. Any plant that bears edible fruit is able to grow in SCP-891, regardless of previous soil or climate needs. That's pretty dope. You can grow any fruit, any fruit there. Plants planted in SCP-891 experience moderately accelerated growth and seem to require abnormally small amount of water and sunlight to grow. Now, I say this is dope, but we know the foundation world. We know that something like this that seems very positive not always has a positive after effect, but maybe it is. Maybe it is all that's what it is, but because it grows way too fast, that's why it is an SCP, and people have to keep away from it. But I highly doubt, because it's thick paragraphs waiting for us. So I'm pretty sure there is some stuff that might not be so good for us humans. Also, the fact that they said any seed that lands in that area needs to be incinerated just indicates that the fact that it grows plants faster is not a good sign. Fruits produced by plants inside SCP-891 are larger than average and have been said to look delicious. Chemical analysis has revealed that compounds responsible for producing appealing texture, flavor, and aroma are abnormally high in SCP-891's fruit. Attempts by Foundation staff to render the soil of SCP-891 incapable of supporting vegetation have been unsuccessful. Salting SCP-891 had no effect. However, once salted soil was removed from the ground of SCP-891, it behaved as expected and did not support vegetation. Okay. So if you take the soil away, it doesn't out of the area, it doesn't work the same way, I guess. What happens if you just dig out the whole place and then move it away and just build a concrete zone over it? Does that solve it? Just do what we normally do with fields. Just just destroy it and put a house on top. Attempting to ingest any fruit, with the exception of apples grown in SCP-891, results instead in the consumption of the subject's own internal organs. So that's why apple seeds is okay. Okay. Autopsies have revealed that damage to internal organs is consistent with bite patterns made by subject of unbitten fruit. So let's just say there was a whole pear, and then you bite into that pear. And you're like, oh yeah, but then like the kidney was just, oh fuck. Subjects are oblivious to any pain that would normally arise from extensive damage to the internal organs, as well as to the fact that they are consuming the organs as opposed to a fruit. After 3 to 4 bites, the subject usually dies of internal bleeding and trauma, though subjects can remain alive if the targeted organ is non-vital. Cutting, slicing, or usage in cooking does not negate the fruit's effect. Consumption of consumption of appliances. Doesn't matter. That meat is now out there. It's gone. Consumption of apples grown within SCP-891 results in data expunged. It is unknown why apples are the only fruit to produce such an effect, though it is hypothesized that consumption of the apples result in a reverse data expunged. The first and only known instances of data expunged result in blank Foundation casualties. Blank dilated as a result of third-degree burns sustained during the attempts to contain data expunged. Blank agents vanished entirely from the immediate area. Foundation tracking devices were unable to pinpoint the location. Data expunged. Pending classification as an SCP object, though its nature may prevent effective containment. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was only like, oh, it just grows fruits faster, and that's all it is, it would have been fine, right? It would have been a nice, simple SCP that you can just grow your fruits. Doesn't need too much sunlight, doesn't need that much water. And the only weird part about it is that it grows at the speed of, I don't know, 10 times the speed of a normal apple or fruit growth, I mean. But the fact that there was like thick paragraphs, I was like, there might be something dangerous about this thing. But we don't know yet. But now we do. And then SB-891 was brought to the Foundation attention when an abnormal number of missing person reports was filed in blank California. All missing persons were last seen at blank Strawberry Farms, the previous name of SB-891. Police and government investigation did not return within 72 hours, which alerted Foundation members stationed in the nearby city of blank blank. Foundation staff eventually apprehended blank blank, the owner of the farm. Searches of blank's house revealed data expunged, and psychological testing found blank to be clinically insane. Blank was subsequently terminated. No apple trees were found when SB-891 was originally recovered. It is possible that Mrs. Blank was unaware of data expunged. Since the Foundation acquisition of SB-891, there have been blank counts of natural deposition of seeds in SB-891. 75% of those natural depositions have been in the 75% of these natural depositions have been in the deposition of apple seeds. It is unknown if the disproportionate numbers of apple seeds being sown by nature causes in SB-891 is an effect of SB-891 or simply bad luck. Despite the Foundation efforts to prevent fecal deposition of apple seed within SB-891, apple saplings are reported to spring up on a semi-regular basis. It is unknown how these seeds are sown in SB-891. Requests for reclassification to Euclid have been denied due to the nature of data expunged. Permanent construction of a rapid response establishment around SB-891 is under consideration. Addendum B. Analysis of documents found within blank's home and has revealed blank's history of misanthropy and paranoia. Certain texts notable in that they are not written in blank's handwriting seem to be primitive blueprints for SB-891. Efforts are being taken by the Foundation to discover the artists. Notes made by blank in the margins indicate that blank had little understanding of the content of the blueprints, and a recipe was found within blank's kitchen for a cherry, peach, raspberry, and blueberry fruitcake. Bodies were found in the blank's backyard, and I have some internal organs of bodies were found to be pulverized beyond recognition. And addendum C, on blank blank blank, a batch of fruit exhibiting properties that identical to those found in SCP-891 nothing grown fruit was found to have reached a supermarket in blank. It is believed that this was caused by a security data expunged, though it is unknown if data expunged. Fortunately, no apples were present in the delivery. All witnesses have been administered Class B amnesiacs. Okay. Casualties have been attributed to a gas leak. Foundation investigation in order to determine the source of said fruit are underway. I wanna know. That's edited. Okay, so it was a recent edit happening. There seems to be some stuff that needs to be fixed text-wise, maybe. But okay. California. And if you don't know why I said California that way, that's because of the movie called, I believe it's called The Wizard, where a kid wants to go to California so he can play Super Mario 3, which I believe that movie was like a promotion for Mario 3. Also, the Power Glove was in it, so I love the Power Glove. It's so bad. Which is weird that like Nintendo allowed a movie to just bash one of the products while promoting another product. Everyone's spreadsheet. Now is that now everyone is a spreadsheet, or because that would be weird. Or is it like a spreadsheet about everybody, like you can find a spreadsheet that explains all the bits and bobs about you, your history, what you have done, your knowledge, your skills, your talents. Euclid. Alright. SCP-892 is to be contained within maximum security vault blank 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 located blank meters beneath side blank. All O5 personnel to be issued a magnetic access key coupled with an individual passcode. A minimum of 3 05 overseers personnel access keys and corresponding passcodes are required to begin a 48-hour unlock sequences to grant access to SCP-892. Should all 13 05 overseer personnel access keys and corresponding passcodes be entered simultaneously, Vault will unlock immediately. Access to SCP-892 is permitted strictly under O5 supervision and for the sole purposes of attempting to identify the location of -2. In the event that -2 is located, all O5 personnel are to be alerted and Mobile Task Force MU4, aka debuggers, is to be dispatched. In the event of containment breach, SCP-892 is to be defended at all costs. The risk of SCP-892 falling into the wrong hands could have catastrophic results for the Foundation as a whole, as well as the rest of the world. In the unlikely event that Site Blank is to be overrun, SCP-892 is to be decommissioned immediately. Unauthorized access is grounds for immediate termination. Well, when they say wrong hands, I imagine Chaos Insurgency, because the Chaos Insurgency, they are more keen on causing chaos, while Marshall Carter and Dark are more keen on like creating fucked up SCPs that they can sell. And Dr. Entertainment is more about giving kids some weird invention. Unauthorized access to grounds for immediate termination. Description: SCP-892 is an Amstrad 286 personnel computer with an accompanying mouse and keyboard running a version of Microsoft Excel 92. Attempts to export and import save files result in corruption of said files. Attempts to install and uninstall software are likewise met with failure. Okay. Upon its discovery, SCP-892 was found containing a single XLS save file titled ESO percentage HF V631-1, hereby designed -1. This save file is impossible to delete, copy, rename, export, modify, or write in any shape or form. Although creating additional XLS files is possible, none of those files have shown similar anomalous properties. Contained within each cell of -1 is a string of information written in plain text English. Each cell, as well as the contained string, is believed to correspond to a currently living individual. This string can contain information as mundane as what that individual ate for breakfast, their occupation, or the shoe size, to information as personal as the first sexual encounter as thought they had that morning, or the greatest phobia. I was right. It is a spreadsheet that tells everything about everybody. These cells refresh daily, displaying a different string of information each time. Should a recorded individual die, the corresponding cell will, upon the next refresh, display their name and time and cause of death. At the time of discovery, -1 was found to contain approximately 84,500 by 84,500 cells, slightly over 7 billion. Because that's how many people we are. Despite the belief that each cell corresponds to a single person, this amount was greater than Earth's estimated population at the time. Additional rows and columns have appeared regularly since then, the rate of growth slightly greater than that of Earth's population. I mean, excuse me. Oh. That could mean two things. That could mean that the population that we think we know is false. That means that there's more people than what that are being there are more people on Earth than what actually is recorded right now, or there are more beings somewhere hidden from human population. Societies, communities, towns, places that the Earth hasn't found yet. Or third option, it counts something else that is not fully human, but this SCP considers important enough to note. Cell A1 suggests that SCP-892 itself is not the source of -1's information, but rather is connected to a server designated -2. However, SCP-892 connects to -2 is currently unknown. Cell A2 suggests that upon entering a password, the higher functions of -1 may be accessed. Cells refresh daily at 12 AM Pacific time. Cells of interest. The following is by no means an exhaustive list. For a complete list of cells examined so far, please consult attached document L892-A. So here we go. That's the first column. Consistency display, status secure, server date, the 32% ping, 12 ppm updated. Do not save to server OS. And then the second column, consistent displays, password required for full access. Okay, here we go. G 231 redacted by O5 order. Z26 update suggests individual plans to assassinate Dr. Blank. Researcher has been placed in protective custody. This just tells you everything about everybody. A lot of privacy goes out the window. AH 423 solid black BW 10,841 or 10841. Actually, I should probably just say this normally. These are not SCP numbers, so yeah, 10,841 suspected to be blank blank and no member of the Chaos Insurgency. Okay, my table never creaked like this before. EF15 redacted, EF16 redacted. AER 50,502 updates displayed subsequent lines from Chuck McKenzie, Predatory Instincts. CTE 55 consistently blank. DYZ the one suspected to be Mark Begich, Alaskan U.S. Senator. EPS 50,028 consistently displays data pertaining to abortion. ECA 75,081 individual believed to be schizophrenic. FLD 3,205 data expunged. FZT 60,670 suspected to be an uncontained SCP. GAR 9,462 consistently displays full access required. HAR 9,461 consistently displays full access required. HKR 682 symbols displays do not correlate to any known on Earth suspected redacted. IOI 4,959 updates displays the name of different Greek mythological heroes. Interesting. MOS 1,325 consistent displays 4 individual not found. Nice. MOS 1,326 consistent displays 909 individual out of range. Out of range? Where is he then? Is he in space? PYK 8,888 suspected to be a serial killer data expunged, whose death sentence was carried out in 19 blank. OXO 24 suspected to be blank blank. However, updates suggest individual is a pedophile. Shit. Well, that blank blank might be something that's supposed to be good. And then now this is him being a pedophile. It's like, oh, a dark twist. QUU 78,202 suspected to be SCP blank. RKL 72,727 suspected to be the Canadian Prime Minister. RZJ 202 updates displays thinly veiled threats towards the Foundation and Foundation personnel. That might be Chaos Insurgency, might be any of the opposing foundations that don't want the SCP Foundation to exist. TTC 50 suspected corrupt cell updates demonstrate self-awareness yet are often nonsensical or contradictory. ZIE 66,667 redacted. AABT 38,545 confirmed as Dr. Blank. Researcher has been detained and used for testing with SCP-892. ABWS 80,323 updates display subsequent digits of pi to the 105th place before resetting. Okay. ABXA 20,468 consistently displays death string. Name, time, and cause different each time. Woo! Okay, some of them don't make sense if they actually are supposed to like measure the person, you know? You know what I mean? Like, Some of them seem to be like just measuring some random stats, like the pi one. I was like, how does that make sense with like connected to be connected with a person that is on this earth? Asexual. Yeah, it's a person that's asexual, but somehow reproduces. Like they never had sex. They don't have a partner, but they reproduce somehow. Well then, that does look like a. Is that supposed to be on somebody's hand? Like, is this around here a hand? Because it looks like. It looks like this. Yeah, it looks. Yeah. Maybe. Safe. SCP-893 may freely roam the facility under the supervision of Psi personnel. Pre-existing instances of -X are housed in nurseries at Site-17. Any new instances of -X are to be placed into the Foundation custody. Crossed out. Immediately terminate. Okay, that's a shame. That's a darn shame that you decide to immediately kill it. Tissue samples taken from SCP-893 should be contained within 5 minutes of extraction. Can you also please extract whatever is in my eye right now without, destroying my eye? Because, goddamn. SCP-893 is a 39-year-old Hispanic male who calls himself blank. Subject is a balding, overweight male with green eyes. Why is that crossed out? Why is that crossed out? Did he change? Did he suddenly like morph into something else? -X was initially discovered by blank shortly after having severed from SCP-893's fourth and fifth fingers on his right hand during a work-related incident at the construction site. The subject claims to have brought the fingers back to his home and put them on ice, neglecting to visit a hospital due to personal reasons. Blank observed his severed ring finger developing a clear fluid around its mass before taking on the form of what appeared to be a diminutive human fetus. Repeated testing and research have revealed that SCP-893's account is factual. So one of his fingers is growing a baby. But does his hand regrow? Because he still lost his fingers. SCP-893 exhibits very crude regenerative capabilities. Experimental log 893-452 is to be referenced for detailed information about the stumps. Any appendages or substantial amounts of living tissue liberated from SCP-893 undergo an accelerated process similar to clonal fragmentation. Small amounts of tissue produce less intelligent, shorter-lived clones, while opposite results are achieved from larger amounts of tissue. Again, I wasn't fully wrong when I said he doesn't have sex, but he somehow gives birth to babies. But in this case, it's cloning. Yeah, these instances henceforth referred to as -X, and on average age and grow 20 times faster than a human being, and are usually all but completely consumed in cancerous tissue and deformed by the end of their extremely short life cycles. -X exhibit limited intelligence, although many instances identified by SCP-893's name. Addendum blank 2805 / 1967. Like, is this supposed to be the years or intelligence assessment? Or is this how? I mean, this must be like the numbers that he created of himself, I guess. Hello, how are you? SCP-893-2445 appears to stare at the interviewer vacantly. How are you? Town. Repeat that, please. SCP-893-245 begins to produce guttural noises similar to laughter. Motion to security personnel. Non-sapient, recover the dildo expunged. Pet. Redacted. Bring in 893-352 as scheduled. And snippets from 3 agreement. Okay. -3 agreement. Describe the incident. I didn't know what it was at first, you know. Them little blubby shits always scared the living fuck out of me. What was I supposed to do? I stomped both of them on my carpet, and when I saw the faces and eyes on my shoes, I pissed on myself. Every fucking time, man. I still got my fingers. I don't know how, but my mom says it's because we are all just tough. Not the little one she means. You don't seem surprised. Fingers grow back, duh. Lizard fingers grow back too. It's animals, man. Redacted. No. No, do your shit, essay. My old job was balls. As long as I'm getting paid for this, man. Just make it... as long as I get paid for this, fool. Just make it so I don't have to feel it when you take the pieces, you know. Look, this document's over. Nah, just give me a pen and I'll sign. Addendum A. His eyes and one of his limbs aren't growing back anymore. There are depressions in some patches of skin that don't seem to be changing either. I understand the value of his resource, but I request a further sampling of SCP-893's body tissues. Cease. It's starting to look like a potato, Dr. Blank. Request denied by Site Director Blank. Nah, keep picking on him. Rip his head off. God damn, dude. This man literally thinks fingers growing back is normal. He's like, what do you mean? It's just normal, right? Like, no. You're the only one that can do that. Well, I say that. There's probably other humanoid SCPs that can regenerate. But it's not normal. It's definitely not normal. No, speak no, hear no, see no. Like the monkey. Speak no, hear no, see no. Yes, but smell everything. Well, I think it's about the monkeys. Maybe like there's an actual like monkeys that do that thing. And it's I don't know, like actually, I'm very curious how this one will go. Safe. Because I don't think, like, I was about to say, like, maybe, like, they communicate with each other in, like, different ways. Because, like, one doesn't see anything. So, but he hears everything. And can talk. While one doesn't hear anything, but sees everything and can talk. And one cannot talk, but hears and sees everything. So, like, maybe they have like some sort of weird communication system between each other. All copies of -1 and -2 are available for researchers' use. Copies of -3 require permission by a member of senior staff. When not checked out, copies of -1 and -2 are to be stored in SB Containment Locker 12 at Site 19. Copies of -3 are to be stored in Containment Locker 47. There are to be only 2 keys to Locker 47. One for the site director and one for the most senior researcher on site. Both key holders must be present in order for Locker 47 to be opened. Only level 4 researchers are allowed access to -3. Description: -1, 2, and 3 are a number of small plastic monkeys. There are monkeys! Man, I'm on a roll on guessing all these ones correctly, or at least guessing part of it correctly. Each set with a slightly different mold. -1 is molded so that the monkey's hands are covering its mouth, yeah. -2 is shaped in such a way that the monkey's hands are covering its ears. -3 is shaped in such a way that the monkey's hands are covering its eyes. On the bottom of each copy is stamped the factory. Oh yeah. That's another one of those. I'm not sure if that's the one on Tame Factory, but there's also like that's also another one of those like foundations that exist that create stuff. Copies of SB-894 are easily destroyed, whether through brute strength or applied heat. When any living being within 5 meters of -1 make visual contact with a specimen, they are rendered incapable of vocalization for a period of 24 hours. In humans, functions of the vocal cords has been observed to continue during this time, and operation of the tongue and jaw is uninhibited, except during a unconscious attempt to produce language or other meaningful sound. In addition, speech processing and written forms of communication are unimpaired. It has therefore been concluded that the effect is sourced in those areas of the brain associated with speech production. It has been shown that subjects suffering from severe visual agnosia or are otherwise incapable of identifying -1 are unaffected. The first instance of -1 was found hanging outside the complaint office of Dale Expunged. There are currently 7 copies of -1 in Foundation hands. When any living being comes within 5 meters of -2 and becomes visually aware of said SCP, they lose all ability to hear for 24 hours. -2 Copies of -2 have most often been found in anarchist groups who seem to delight in placing said SCP in public places such as churches, schools, and places of business. Task Force Lambda 3, no given nickname, is devoted to tracking down those groups and liberating all instances of -2. The Foundation currently has 12 copies of -2. So, but looks like those are not as easy to destroy. No, wait, hold on. No, all of them are easy to destroy. Yeah, there we go. When any living being comes within 5 meters of -3 and becomes visually aware of said SCP, they lose all ability to see for 24 hours. What does the liar do when he's dead? That is a weird thing to ask in the middle of the reading. But he doesn't do anything, he's just dead. At least that's my logic. -3 was first encountered in the hands of a serial rape. Oh. That's a... -3 was... Wait, so we had... Couldn't speak and couldn't hear, so couldn't see... now known as D... Oh god, okay. D894. There's no evidence at this time whether -3 was made in smaller batches than -1 on -3, or if the current owners of copies of -3 are simply better at hiding its uses. He lies to Little County Luxembourg. How dare you? How dare you? I was having a good time reading, and you come here assaulting me with puns? You just come out of nowhere? Henry, I feel dirty. If you're justice, please do not lie. Wait, what is the prize for you blind? Welcome to Fluff, Little County Luxembourg. If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the prize for your blind eye? I'm just gonna keep on reading if you don't mind. The Foundation currently has 2 copies of SB of -3. Use of instances of SB894 by research staff and D-class personnel to prevent the effects of object possessing visual, vocal, and auditory triggers such as SCP-1752 and 1753 and 2599 respectively has proven effective means of facilitating ongoing containment. It's gonna happen now. This whole stream is gonna be about puns, isn't it? Save me! Piccolo, help! Okay, let's see. I would say, okay, so... Oh my god, it actually is. He only speaks in puns. In pun questions and pun answers. You okay, bro? Has somebody cursed you? Is this your life? It can be cruel, poetic, or blind, but when it's denied its violence, you may find. Wait, it can be cruel, poetic, or blind, but when it's denied its violence, you may find. Camera disruption. I heard of that one, I think. It's not justice. Or is it justice? Wait, is it justice? Camera disruption. Okay, I think this SCP... Hell yeah! I was right. This SCP camera disruption, I assume it's just... Okay, I'm gonna come out of and say it's an invisible force that you don't see on camera. Or it's a humanoid force that in the moment it passes by the camera just goes... Since your justice is so selective, please tell us which women you pay to protect. I feel like I'm being scammed. I think I'm being like initiated in some sort of cult. My man, you okay? Speak to me in normal words. Give me... If you give me 1 kappa, then I know you're okay. If you give me 2 kappas, then I know you're not okay. Well, let's see what this camera disruption is. Ooh, whoa. Oh, that's cool. They actually have one. This is one of the most highest rated one. The rat. Since you just selected, tell us which one protect the rat. I think I understand. Let me see this up close. Oh, okay. It doesn't work when I. We're really finished, bro. He's going on. He's just like, I have like 50 more. I'm gonna give him the false sense of hope. Okay, this is Yuka. This is a highly rated one. I really like what they're doing with this one. Sadly, it doesn't work on normal. Containment area 895-6 live feed, 30 meters. I grew up on a seed as tough as a weed, but in a mansion in a slum, I'll never know where I come from. Do you know what I am? Wait, I grew up on a seed as tough as a weed, but in a mansion in a slum, I'll never know where I come from. Do you know what I am? Who? I was always horrible with these. Whenever I was put on the spot, I always am horrible with these. But when I mention in a slum, I never know where I come from. I don't know. Euclid SCP-895 is sealed, closed, and stored in an isolated underground containment cell at a depth of approximately 100 meters. No cameras, microphones, or other surveillance equipment may be brought within the 10-meter redstone radius of SCP-895 without express permission from at least 2 Level 3 personnel. An orphan. I see. So the seed as tough as a weed, as in like, yes, of course. But in a mansion in a slum, I never know where I come from, because like, he doesn't know its origin or the parents. That's fair. Doesn't know its nationality. Doesn't know what whose blood is running through my veins. Okay, yeah, I get it. Okay, understood. Any on-site personnel exhibiting unusual behavior or signs of psychological trauma are to be screened immediately. Last one. What's black and blue and dead all over? Wasn't that like always being said as like a corpse? But wasn't there like a second answer? That was like, it was like supposed to like make you think of a corpse, but there's actually a different answer that's not as morbid. Because that's because I don't know what is if that's the case. Wait, I just now realized there's fucking text on the. I didn't even see that before. There's text on the wall sometimes. It's always a different effect. Okay. What is it, Luxembourg? Any on-site personnel exhibiting unusual behavior or signs of psychological trauma are to be screened immediately and moved from the site or terminated as the situation warrants. Is that a bat? Is that a bat I see there? Have you found the name of the movie? You talking about Batman? Because on those like those are the Batman the Riddler questions, right? Or at least some of them are. I might be wrong though, because I remember the Justice one. I remember the I forgot about the rat, because that is the one that they had a lot of problems with, right? Where they're like, oh, the rat, but also bat, and then that's the whole discussion between Penguin, Commissioner Gordon, and Batman himself. So did you just took all the Are you stating that, or are you asking me? Because if you ask me, then I would say, I think, yeah, all of them are, right? But if you're stating that, then yes, we're on the same page. I forgot, I missed the text, fuck! Any on-site personnel exhibiting unusual behavior or signs of psychological trauma are to be screened immediately and removed from the site. Or there's one area that's red only here. Or terminated as the situation warrants. Oh! Now there's a coffin in the middle of the room. SCP-895 is an ornate oak coffin. Aha! That's the coffin that's rust right there, and it's gone. It just rolled runner meep meep and vanished. Is an ornate oak coffin recovered from the blank blank mortuary by SCP personnel on blank 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 following reports. Oh, the dead people. How many different variations does this have? Yes, all of them. So I guess you watched it already. Don't you? Yeah, I have, but I will be honest, I did not memorize all the get out. That's the text I missed. I did not memorize all the answers. I was so mesmerized by a lot of other things as well in the same time, because I think like the Batman movie, I liked how of a slower movie it was, and of course there's a lot of cinematography that I was gushing over, because as a filmmaker, watching that and be like, oh my god, because I was with a filmmaker friend, and then we were just like talking to each other, like, and being like, that's a beautiful shot, and we were like trying to guess how they made it while enjoying the film as well. But yeah, as you can see, I did not memorize all the questions from the riddles that he gave. The moment the Justice one came along, I had a sense that you did the Batman questions, but I wasn't quite sure. I watched it twice, the film. You like it that much, eh? It's a really good film, I'll be honest. Mortuary by SCP personnel following reports of unusual footage captured by surveillance equipment installed at that location, where when questioned, mortuary staff were unable to determine the source of SCP-895 and how it was transported to the location. Upon attempting to open SCP-895, agents on location found the object empty. However, observers viewing the live camera feed were data expunged. Until further notice, SCP-895 must remain closed at all times. What's your favorite scene from the Batman? What's your favorite? Give me anything that you like. Just talk to me about it. What do you like about it? Except the riddles, because I can see you memorized them. SCP-895 causes disruption in videos and photographic surveillance equipment within 50 meters, similar to vivid, disturbing hallucination, which variable duration and regularity corresponding to the camera's proximity to SCP-895. Within a range of 5 meters from SCP-895, footage capture can cause severe psychological trauma and hysteria in most subjects. These disruptions do not extend to observers physically present within the area. Opening scene was very well done. Car chase, that is definitely very very fun to watch. A car chase, especially the moment when Batman walks out of the car and there's like just fire. That shot was absolutely beautiful. The music crescendoing throughout the cinema, throughout that scene. Addendum 1. End scene. Okay, yeah. Audio excerpt from the Joker scene. Yes. I want to ask you. Did you like that they will use the Joker again for another Batman movie, or do you want to see another villain? Because there's a bunch of villains that haven't had a chance to be on the big screen yet. At the end, I will enjoy whatever the second movie will have to offer anyway, but I just want to hear other people's opinions. And then one audio excerpt from the SB895 recovery log blank blank blank. Okay, so Team 1, command. All civilians have been detained and evacuated. You are cleared to move in and capture. Command, one lead, roger. We are moving in. We are inside the lobby. Video feed check. Team 1, command. We are receiving. We are seeing blood on the walls. Please confirm. Negative, command. It's clean in here. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's gone. Team 1, advise possible mimetic properties in effect. Copy, command. Team 1 moving into storage area. We're in the storage area. Object located. Christ, it's moving. Team 1, confirm. Object appears to be alive and moving. Command, negative. We see no movement. Object appears to be normal. 2, open it up. Sounds of weapons being readied, followed by creaking as object is opened. Sir, it's empty. Command on lead. 1 lead. The object appears to be empty. Command, do you copy? Sounds of screaming, retching. Okay, wait, well. Command, do you copy? Shit, we're bugging out. Close that thing. Addendum 2. Following incident data expunged and the loss of 3 personnel, the red zone of SB895 has been extended from 5 meters to 10 meters and security personnel shifts has been reduced to 4 hours as a precaution. Wow. I really like the GIF that they added to this. That was pretty creative. I like that. Yes, and Mr. Freeze is also coming in the second movie. Have you seen the latest thing about the Joker? I have not seen it. Mr. Freeze is coming. Okay. That would be interesting to do Mr. Freeze again, especially since the whole Arnold. Stay cool, bird boy. You're the next villain of the Batman movie. Why am I the next villain? That would be a weird villain to have. The Afro. Have you heard of that villain, Batman? What does he do? He gives everybody a new hairdo. Everybody walks around with afros. Is that a crime? In Gotham it is, Batman. In Gotham it is. Nobody walks around with afros anymore in Gotham. It's illegal. What? You're good at acting. I'm good at voice acting, or at least I think I am. I want to be. The only thing I think I'm good at acting is comedy acting, as you can probably see from my reactions and all that stuff. But I wouldn't. I take that compliment. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But I don't think I am. I would see you as Mr. Gordon. As the, instead of Gordon having a daughter. Although that would be wrong if Barbara wouldn't be around. But instead of Barbara, it's Babs, so it's just me. What's up, Dad? You doing something with Batman again tonight? Yeah, you know the thing. Crime doesn't solve itself sometimes, and honestly, I found out that half the PD are corrupted, so I have to ask a Batman sometimes. Don't worry, Dad, you got this. I believe in you. Just don't die on me out there. Why would you make a death flag for me, son? Now you say that, yeah. Why did I say that? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Just wish me luck. Good luck, Dad. And that's all I'm in. That's all I'm doing in that Batman sequel movie. I'm just there like, good luck, Dave. In fact, the new Mr. Freeze will be played by Bryan Cranston. Okay. If I could play a Batman villain. Actually, wait, hold on. No. You know what? If I could play any character in Batman, what's his name? He's a new one, isn't he? In the Bat family. Is he like? Hold on. Yeah, I would probably play Signal, Duke Thomas. If I could play a Batman character in general, I wouldn't mind playing Duke Thomas. And if I had to play a villain, if I played a villain, I would. Let's see. I guess I could play. I would be Catwoman. Alright. That role's already fulfilled, sadly, but. You can. Or Two-Face. Okay. If I could play a villain in Batman. Trying to go through all the villains like in my head right now. You know, I would. You know what? Maybe Zaz. Just to bring him to the big screen for once. Zaz would be kind of fun to play. Just absolutely psychotic. Aggressive, vulgar, rude. Markings all over the body. Okay, online role-playing game. What could this SCP be? Well, it's a video game. Maybe this SCP is just sold out online. Actually, no. Log Horizon, where you get transported into the world of an online video game. It's considered safe, and oh boy, there's a lot. Actually, there's also Penguin, which is an interesting character. Yeah, but he's already been done, so... And he's been done multiple times now, so... Oh god, this is a long read now. Okay, I need something to drink. You're from America, don't you? Nope, not at all. I'm from Switzerland, actually. Physical containment of SCP-896 is impossible due to widespread public knowledge. However, the anomalous properties of SCP-896 have been largely neutralized through Foundation efforts and the operation of Blank Blank, the publishing and hosting company of SCP-896. You kidding me? I'm not at all. Here's proof. The server cluster hosting SCP-896 original code is to be housed at Site 15. 5 standard desktop computers are to be directly connected to the server with -1 installed on each one. SCP-896 may never be connected to the internet or any Site 15's networks, but may be regularly patched as needed by use of physical media. Any person wishing to use SCP-896 must obtain permission from 2 level 4 administrators. Crossed out. Foundation personnel may not use SCP-896 until further notice. No personnel level 4 or above may use SCP-896 due to potential loss of valuable Foundation data. Any Class D personnel used in testing of SCP-896 must be routinely monitored for the effects of SCP-896, and containment procedure must be tailored individually to ensure no security breaches occur. I'm from Luxembourg. I don't want to be rude. But your name kinda tells me that already. By the way, I'm looking in this direction because that's where my chat is, even though I should be looking this if I want to talk to you, so I apologize if I look this time. So you can speak German, ja, kann ich. Ich kann Hochdeutsch reden und auch Schweizerdeutsch, aber Englisch ist ist die Sprache, die ich mehr rede als sonst. Hallo Kollege. But yeah, so I can't speak German, but I speak English majority more. I only speak Swiss German with my parents and family, and regular German sometimes at work. But majority of the time I speak English with friends, and I'm also in London right now, so English is definitely more spoken here. SB 896. Yeah, I said that correctly. It's known to the public as blank blank blank, a popular online role-playing game. The version of SB 896 that the public uses has no enormous effects. However, the original code developed by blank blank exhibits effects that warrant blank blank blank's classification as an SCP. In French, not at all. I had a chance to learn French in school, decided not to do that. I went to Mandarin, which was a mistake, because this was when during my. Because I watched anime in German before, then I realized, like, wait, hold on a minute. Anime is actually supposed to be originally in Japanese. And then I watched Japanese, and I thought maybe Mandarin is going to be as fun and cool to speak as Japanese is. And then I realized that Mandarin is one of the hardest languages to learn. And I was like, big mistake. I used to speak Spanish and Italian as a child, but that has been thrown out the window. So that's not a language I can speak anymore either. So it's German, English, Swiss German. Those are the 3 languages I can definitely speak and understand. Spanish and Italian I understand more than I speak. I don't speak much at all. Understand average amount. But yeah. SB 896 functions as any normal online role-playing game. Please consult normal non-foundation articles if not familiar with the mechanics and terminology of an online role-playing game. I'm better in French than in German. Yeah, what is the main languages of Luxembourg? I feel like I should know this, but now that we're talking about languages, I don't even know. SB 896 abnormal behavior only manifests when a user creates an avatar which shares the exact first and last name of the user. Once this occurs, the user is imprinted upon the avatar. Once imprinted, any change to the avatar statistics will have a direct effect upon the user. How this occurs is not well understood. The current hypothesis is SB 896 allows the user to exhibit a powerful mind over matter control over their body and surroundings. There are 6 stats that directly affect the abilities of the user. Raising the stats in-game causes a corresponding increase in the physical or mental characteristics of the user. However, if one stat is 15% greater than any other stat, all other physical attributes of the user suffers. The stats are the link to the real physical abilities and described below. Oh. So it's Dungeons & Dragons, strength. Self-explanatory, as an avatar strength increases, so does the user. I am Portuguese, Spanish, and Luxembourgish, and in Luxembourg it's French and Luxembourgish, then German and English. That's why I thought that Luxembourg has a lot of different languages. It's one of the countries that speaks so many. Nice, nice. I am Brazilian, adopted into a Swiss family, and which is ironic because apparently my mother was also Swiss. At least that's what I've been told. I haven't done any research on my actual heritage, but I don't have any reason to, because I'm happy with the family I'm living with. I can speak 6 languages, dude. Respect. Cowabunga. That is awesome. That is, I'm not sure if anybody told you this, but I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you that you can speak 6 languages. That's awesome. I wish I could speak that many. Agility. So in D&D, agility usually would be dexterity. So let's see if it's the same thing. Highly agile user note a high accuracy of movement and control over their body. This grace allows for a great speed of movement with no sacrifice of skill or accuracy to the desired action. Yeah, that would be dexterity in D&D. Stamina. So that would be Constitution. No, wait, what is it called in D&D? Fuck. It's not Constitution, it's, yeah. Yeah, accept permission, blah, blah, blah. Give me my D&D sheet, please. It's, no, it is Constitution. I'm dumb. Increased stamina results in the ability to go longer without food or sleep, enhanced physical endurance, and even resistance to disease and physical damage. Yeah, that's usually con. So Constitution in D&D. Charisma. Charisma grants the user a deep understanding of an individual and exploits this manipulate them to their own wants. Intelligence. High intelligence leads to an increase in the information retention and problem-solving capabilities of the user. So wait, hold on a minute. My character has high dexterity and horrible charisma. Which, now that I think about it, I have both. Well, this means a part of Luxembourg teenagers are proud. Hey, nice dude. Oh, my D&D character has horrible charisma. What are you studying? It's not studying. It's just fiction. I'm just reading. Have you never heard of the SCP Foundation? Because this is going to be a lot of confused. This is a lot of confusing thing to hear then if you haven't heard of the SCP Foundation. It's also a wild thing to jump into in the middle of it as well. Intelligence, higher intelligence. Wait, if charisma grants the user deep understanding of an individual and exploits this to manipulate them to their own wants. Intelligence, high intelligence leads to an increase in information retention, problem solving capability of the user. Oh, what job do I do? I'm just a filmmaker. I do anything that has to do with films. If there is a job that takes me. I can do cameraman, I can do editing, I can do boom operating, I can do continuity, script writing. I am actually writing a couple scripts right now, to be honest, but yeah, so that's basically what I do. I can also do grip, camera assistance I can be as well. I don't like being director or assistant director or producer. Those are the three ones I definitely want to prevent doing in the future. But that's basically also casting director I don't really like. It feels awful going through like 20 to 30 people and then be like, okay, which one of those in those 30 people, which one's that one person that we can say yes to? Also, it's exhausting to like meet everybody and then be like, yeah, okay, we get it. Because after like the 30th person, you just go like, we heard the same scene over and over and over again. But yeah, I also like doing. I would like to do some stage and prop. What's it called? Stage construction. I forgot what it's called officially. But I would like to do that one day, just to build my own stage. That would be cool. My own set. Set design. That's what it is. Set design. Yes. I'm going to university in 2 years to study history and geography, Lehrer zu werden. Hey, nice. Do you want to be a teacher? Willst du Lehrer werden in einem bestimmten Land? Oder willst du in Luxemburg bleiben? Wisdom. Allows the user a deep understanding of situation and people and allows them to see the best possible solution for the problem. It should be known that the best possible solution is based upon the morals and ethical priorities of the subject. Recovery log. SB896 effects were first noted during the beta test. MDF-MU4's routine monitoring intercepted inter-office emails detailing the effects and quickly moved into secure SB896. SB896 was already highly anticipated by the general public. So simply borrowing the project was not an option. SB896 was released to the general public with significant code alteration to ensure SB896 would not exhibit anomalous behavior. The old beta code was quickly patched and SB896 was effectively contained. Luxembourg because we have a huge Mindestlohn. That makes sense, yeah. I wish I could find film jobs in Switzerland a bit easier. Even though there is a couple people that make films in Switzerland, because Switzerland also has a huge minimum wage. But I do in my holidays also video editing via mobile. Oh, nice. Because like Switzerland also has a good Mindestlohn, minimum wage, but a lot of Switzerland is business. Banks. Not really a country that you want to do creative work in. It's a shame. Test log. A group of 5 Class D personnel was selected for testing based upon their knowledge of computer gaming, compliance with foundation instruction, and below average physical and mental characteristics. Each Class D was assigned a role within the group to test one specific statistic. For ease of reading, D896-A through D896-E are referred to by an alias describing the role as follows. DA, Knight, character focused on stamina. Berserker, character focused on strength. Cleric, character focused on wisdom. Warlock, character focused on intelligence. And Bard, character focused on charisma. Nobody doing agility? God, okay. The app is called iMovie. Oh yeah. Our minimum wage is 2,700 euros. So let's see. Our minimum wage, if you do a 9 to 5 job, and it's 21 francs an hour, so 9 to 5 would be 8 hours, right? So that would be 168 francs a day, and then you do that 5 times a week times 5, yeah, that's 840 francs a week, and then you do that times 4. So our minimum wage should be around 3,360, but I think that's not fully correct. It's probably less than that. It is probably less than that. It should be close to that though. It should be a bit, I would say, it's between 2,800 and 3,000. That's our minimum wage, I would say. Because I do know that I do get 2,800 from my family business, passive income. Test log A. Okay, so we have test log A, which is A3933. Testing notes: all 5 Class D are imprinted upon the avatars. The subject proceed to play for blank hours. No abnormal behavior or abilities were displayed. Character statistics redacted. Results: all subjects underwent control tests to determine their baseline abilities. After today's session, all subjects did not display any gains that were statistically relevant to our data set. However, a low character experience statistic gains are minimal. Test log A3936. Excuse me. The subject has been playing for one. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. This is easier to read. Oh, there's so many tests. Do you like sports? A lot, yeah. I used to be one of the best students in sports in high school. And right now, I do a lot of running. Used to be the sports I was good at in high school was ultimate frisbee, baseball, football, floor hockey, dodgeball, stamina, anything stamina, P90X type of stuff with muscle training. A little bit of martial arts was okay. Basketball was not my best. Volleyball was not my best. Cross country, as I said, running, track and field was my favorite thing to do. So I did a lot of sports, and I still continue to do like fitness stuff. Same with like swimming and snowboarding. I keep up with that kind of stuff occasionally. I used to row. On the boat as well. I do fitness and football. Nice, dude. The subjects have been playing for 1 week. The subjects work well together and have begun searching more dangerous areas of SB896 for magical items. Character statistics redacted. Results: subjects Knight and Berserker are showing improvement. Knight has been able to maintain a full sprint on the treadmill for 2 minutes longer and displays an increased pain tolerance. Berserker has begun to develop a more muscular physique and can lift 9% more than the control tests. Bard's abilities are hard to quantify as expected. Warlock's abilities are in information, recall, and implication has increased dramatically. Cleric has begun conducting highly organized and logical debates with researchers regarding the ethics and purpose of SCP/human testing. Of course, the guy who gains wisdom is like, actually, this is kind of dumb the way you do it. Let me show you how to. Let me tell you a better way. The subject stats are approaching the 15% mark, and we are anticipating the consequence of this to appear soon. Well, I must say at first I wanted to be a pilot. Why don't you want to be a pilot anymore? Or why did you change your mind? Test log A3939. The subjects have been playing for 2 weeks. Berserker broke his keyboard and mouse by gripping them. Subject has been provided a custom-made keyboard and mouse made of steel. All subjects have begun to defer to Bard's judgment of any situation, begun providing him all magical items, regardless of Bard's actual need or use for them, because of his charisma. His charisma is way too high for you now. Character statistics redacted. Berserker has been instructed to begin increasing his agility statistics so he can better control his vastly improved strength. Bard has been forbidden from speaking during testing to prevent itself aggrandizement at the cost of the other test subjects' focus. Warlock is approaching 7th level intelligence. However, the IQ of the subjects focusing on physical stats has plummeted. Bard, Cleric, and Warlock have significantly reduced energy levels and have lost 20% of their muscle mass over the last 2 weeks. Because I don't like chemistry, physics, and maths. Fair enough. Fair enough. A3945. Oh, there's a big one. No, testing note. Berserker and Knight crippled over who should receive a magic item, and the argument turned violent. Berserker was able to throw Knight into a containment wall before being subdued by security. Knight was unarmed despite causing significant damage to the concrete wall because he's his stamina. Wait, no, his stamina is super high. Berserker was easily subdued with the use of a taser. Although he's physically very strong, he possesses no additional toughness or endurance because his stamina is very low. The converse is true with Knight. Although highly resistant to damage and physical pain, he's no stronger than his control test. Berserker has been filled with a standard foundation shock collar to ensure compliance. The mental faculties of all the subjects have plummeted. Although Warlock's memory has near perfected recall, his ability to apply his knowledge is nearly non-existent. Even the slightest leap in logic or creative thinking is beyond his ability. Cleric's long-term memory has been severely limited and must be briefed on all aspects of a problem before he can formulate a solution. Both Cleric and Warlock require wheelchairs and assistance in feeding themselves, because they... Hence the hyper-focusing on different things. The body is gaining only that focus. But unlike in real D&D, where you gain stats increasement in all of the things, that's not happening here. Knight's epidermis has become extremely hard but has lost any elasticity. In order to provide the necessary range of moment for testing, lacerations along his joints are to be done 5 hours beforehand with a diamond bladed jigsaw. The cuts heal within the prerequisite time, and Knight apparently feels no pain from the procedure. Recommend increasing Knight's agility as well to ensure ease of testing. Berserker requires continual skin grafting as his muscle growth has outstripped the elasticity of his skin. Ugh. They should probably focus on other stuff now so they don't end up dead. What's the foundation? The foundation won't let them. No, that's a shame. Okay, so what's this one? I didn't pay attention. A3947. Ah, my nose is itchy again. Bin in einer höheren Bildung namens Sektion Allgemeine Sozialwissenschaft. Ooh. Now that's something I don't really focus on myself. How's that going for you? Bot was terminated today. Foundation researcher Blank was elected to play Bot's avatar to allow testing to continue. Bot breached containment when the guard assigned to his containment cell released the lock. The guard has been provided Bot with food over the past week and have been regularly exposed to Bot's body language and demeanor. When asked why he released Bot, the guard stated, "I see the poor guy every day. I feel sorry for him." Bot walked to the cafeteria and made Foundation personnel make him steak and strawberry ice cream. Upon completing his meal, he returned to his cell to sleep. Command determined the threat present by Bot's continually developing ability to outweigh any further potential insight into SB-896 and ordered his termination. It is theorized that Bot only returned to his cell because he thought of escape from Foundation custody had not even crossed his mind. Cleric has requested researchers allow him to invest in intelligence statistics to enhance his failing memory. His request is tentatively approved. At this point, nearly all subjects require Cleric's guidance to perform any tasks. Berserker has seemingly reached a plateau of his physical abilities. He claims he is no longer experiencing any increase of strength or agility despite continued gain in SCP-896. Requesting additional security measures be considered in case he is falsifying his results. It should be noted that the communication with all subjects have become increasingly difficult as all are rapidly losing language skills. All of them? Okay, A3990. Last test. Ooh, there's a big one. Big boy. Total containment breach of all subjects. 3 subjects terminated. Testing discontinued. Redacted. Okay, so History und Geography sind die wichtigsten mit einem Coefficient 4 und das wird zusammengerechnet im momentan Geo 54 von 60 und History 47.5 aus 60. Okay. So you're doing pretty good. You're definitely above half. So that's pretty good. Especially with Geo, you solid. While subjects were led back to the containment cells by the Foundation security, Berserker managed to remove his shock collar and kill blank guards. His strength and speed were much higher than anticipated. Berserker proceeded to free the other subjects. Warlock and Berserker made their way back to SB-896 containment cell. Knight remained and resisted Foundation personnel attempting to re-establish containment. Knight held off blank Foundation personnel for 10 minutes. Standard issue firearms could not harm Knight. Knight was eventually forced into a containment cell and terminated via asphyxiation, which took approximately 20 minutes. No autopsy was performed on Knight due to examiner inability to pierce his skin with medical instruments. Basically became Luke Cage. German 24 out of 60, French 45 out of 60. I mean, listen. Majority from what I see, you're in the upper level. So, sport, 45 out of 60. Nice. Nice. To the examiner's inability to piece his skin with medical instruments. Upon reaching SB-896 containment cell, Warlock told Berserker to open the cell. Berserker was able to rip the Foundation security door off its hinges before dying. Autopsies indicate that the force required to remove the Foundation security door shattered blank bones in his body and snapped his spine in 3 places. Although Berserker was able to generate enough force to accomplish this feat, his body could not handle the door's weight or the effect of Newton's third law. Warlock entered SB-896 containment and proceeded to access the game. It took approximately 7 minutes for him to decipher SB-896 source code and edit the hexadecimal code containing his character statistics. Upon adding his stats to the maximum value allowed, Warlock vanished from containment. To this day, Warlock or his remains have not been found. Upon reviewing Warlock's account information contained on SCP-896, researchers discovered a customer service notation simply stating user has been banned for hacking. Okay. Cleric has escaped containment, and his whereabouts are unknown at this time. Cleric is most likely responsible for the breach as the other subjects have lacked the necessary ambition or planning to attempt this sort of escape. Researcher Blank is also missing. It is believed during the distraction caused the containment breach, Cleric gained access to SCP Blank with the help of Researcher Blank and used SCP Blank to escape. I like this one a lot. Test log B. Dr. Blank, a level 3 researcher was conservatively using SB896 to augment his abilities. Dr. Blank was increasing his stats uniformly to avoid any negative effects. Dr. Blank was 53 years old and in good health, and his strength and IQ has increased 7% since beginning use of SB896. Dr. Blank decided to have a Gameathon over Thanksgiving weekend in 2000 blank, in which he played SB896 for an estimated blank hour straight before he expired. Autopsies revealed evidence of severe arthritis, early onset Alzheimer, cardiac, and development of several tumors. The medical examiner could only conclude that Dr. Blanks had died of old age. Further use of SB896 by Foundation personnel has been suspended until the direct correlation between the aging effects brought on by leveling is understood. That was a lot of fun to read. I like that one a lot. That's gonna be up here for sure. Voodoo organ transplant. Another voodoo one. We had one here. Reverse mirror voodoo doll stick puppet. And now we have voodoo organ transplant. So I assume it's a voodoo figure, and you can add a mini organ to that voodoo, and whatever organ you add to that voodoo stick or the voodoo figure is the organ that the person that is connected to the voodoo figure gains. And I'm right-handed. You're falling off. Beste Note ist bei Wieso, also Leben und Gesellschaft 56 und schlechteste ist Deutsch 24. Ach naja. Wenn die meisten gut sind und nur Deutsch ist das schlechteste, ist nicht so schlimm. Say formerly Euclid. It used to be Euclid, okay. SB897 is allowed to full access to all level 0 regions of the facility. It may not engage in any activities that have the potential to be physical, harmful in any way, directly or indirectly, and is required to undergo a comprehensive medical exam daily. If SB897 is found to be at risk of any kind of organ failure, it will be confined to a cell and provided with a D-class personnel in order to restore itself. Description: SB897 is an effective immortal person of variable height, weight and build, and indeterminate age, race and gender. He claims to be blank blank, an Estonian man and on record as having died in a house fire in Revel, now Tallinn, in 19 blank, aged 70. If this were true, it would make SB897 blank years old, and I can see through those blanks that it is definitely a triple digit number. Aber werden müsste Deutsch kompensieren, da ich eine Datze habe. Eine Datze habe? Aber da ich mehr als 40 in der Gesamtmoyen habe, kann ich das kompensieren. Ach, heilige Matrose, bin ich im Deutschen. I haven't heard Ach, heilige Matrose in forever. I believe in you. You got this. With time it comes to you. When one or more of SB897's vital organs is compromised, usually as a result of trauma or disease-related injury, but sometimes as a result of age-related wear and tear, said organ will spontaneously switch places with that of whichever human subject is in closest proximity to SB897, provided that they are in good health via teleportation. This saves SB897's life, but at the expense of the subject to whom the process is fatal in blank percentage of cases and severely debilitating in the other blank percentage. The process is entirely involuntarily and does not require SB897 to be conscious in order to work. So it's not a voodoo puppet that you put an organ in and the person gains an organ, but it's he himself is a voodoo subject. And whenever an organ fails, he's just like, oh shit, my lungs, dude. Oh, hey human, how about you give me your lungs, eh? And he's like, what? Exchange lungs. Oh yeah, I can breathe again. And the other guy is just like, what have you done to me? I I gave you my lungs, which were failing right now. Mal gucken, wie es wird. Bin immer durchgegangen im nächsten Jahr. Mit einer 30, 31 oder 32 und dieses Jahr wird... I mean, Deutsch ist einfach die schwerste Sprache. Neben Chinesisch und... Was ist noch so eine schwere Sprache eigentlich? Chinesisch... Deutsch und Chinesisch. das war also die zwei sind die schwersten Sprachen. Die zwei sind die schwerste. Aber... Naja, es passiert halt so, ne? Es ist halt so. Man kann es leider nicht zwingen. Russisch? Ja, stimmt, Russisch wahrscheinlich auch. Ich finde Deutsch ist schwer, weil es einfach sehr viel mit Grammatik zu tun hat, weil wir haben ja mehrere Vergangenheitsformen und wir haben ja auch der, die, das, was wir in Englisch nicht haben. Und mit Chinesisch / Mandarin ist das Schwerste eigentlich die Aussprachen, weil es gibt verschiedene Tonungen in Chinesisch, wo man aufpassen muss, wie man es sagt, weil wenn man es falsch sagt, kann es auch etwas anderes bedeuten. MRI scans and medical tests indicate that the transplanted organs are seamlessly integrated into SB897's body, regardless of genetic disparity. Ow, my balls. And function as normal. SB897 has been found to contain DNA from at least blank different people, including blank Foundation personnel. It is estimated that no more than blank percentage of its original body mass remains, while its immune system, which itself has been replaced several times, does not reject foreign tissue, is not known. Also ich kann gut sprechen, aber schreiben ist grausam. Bin einer der schlechtesten im Deutschen. I can think of a couple people that are worse than you, so. Aber naja, wenn du sprechen kannst, ist ja nicht so schlimm. Also natürlich beim Notieren, dir eine Note zu geben, ist wichtig, dass du es gut schreiben kannst, aber wenn du es gut sprechen kannst, dann die meisten Jobs werden das sehen und denken, okay, ist gut genug. Ja, passt schon. SB897 was discovered by the Foundation in the spring of 2000 blank, when it was reported that the 3 hikers in Denali National Park, Alaska, had died in the space of 2 weeks under similar highly anomalous circumstances. The first hiker appeared to drown despite being on land. The coroner report confirmed that not only were her lungs filled with water, but they were unusually large in relation to her size and build, meaning they did not fit inside her ribcage, and as such had ruptured and hemorrhaged. Ew. The second hiker did expunged. The third hiker dropped dead when several of his bones, including his cervical vertebrae, appeared to spontaneously fracture. A mobile task force sent to scout the area found SB897, who had recently taken to living in the wilderness, and took it into custody with blank casualties. SB897 reported that he had fallen into a river, data expunged, by a mother grizzly bear and fallen off a cliff, at times coinciding with the deaths of the 3 hikers. So, because he was injured, the body was like, okay, let me just switch some bones and lungs out, dude. But how long can he stay injured before, or how long? I guess it does say he is immortal. Well, he probably suffers. Aber in Luxemburg wird Französisch am meisten gesprochen in den Berufen. Dann, wie gesagt, dann ist ja alles gut. Natürlich sollst du weiterhin versuchen, besser zu werden in Deutsch, weil desto besser du wirst, in eine Sprache zu lernen, desto besser wird es für dich in allgemein. Ich meine, Deutsch ist meine Muttersprache und ich bin jetzt saumäßig schlecht darin, in Reden, weil Englisch einfach meine Lieblingssprache geworden ist und Englisch mehr und mehr wichtiger wurde in meinem Leben. So, mein Deutsch ist jetzt nicht mehr so gut. Also, wie gesagt. Due to the stress of involuntarily causing multiple deaths, SB897 is highly mentally unstable and is neither willing nor able to cooperate with the Foundation. Its condition has gotten substantially worse since being taken into custody. SB897 will self-harm at any given opportunity, Blank Foundation personnel have been killed or injured because of this. Whether SB897 self-harms out of frustration with his existence or merely to spite the Foundation is unknown. Meine auch. Englisch und Französisch ist cool. Genau. Addendum. On blank October 2011, SB897 briefly escaped Foundation custody. When Dr. Rasmussen entered SB897's parallel cell in order to attempt an interview, SB897 broke free of its straitjacket and did expunged its own face, causing his eyes, nose, much of his skin, most of his teeth, and its lower jaw to be exchanged with Dr. Rasmussen. Dr. Rasmussen is believed to have expired almost immediately. SB897 was then able to pass himself off as Dr. Rasmussen, allowing him to leave the facility because his face. He took his face off, as Nicolas Cage would say, and take my face off. When Dr. Rasmussen's body was discovered, Agent Blank was sent to recover SB897. 19 hours later, SB897 returned of its own accord, now possessing the memories and personality of Agent Blank. It transpired that upon tracking SB897 to the nearby town of Blank, Agent Blank attempted to restrain it and accidentally shot it in the head. Initiating a spontaneous brain transplant, Agent Blank's body quickly expired due to massive brain damage. The mind of the original SCP-897 was lost in the process. The fact that SCP-897's body has now been entirely replaced, meaning the original body technically no longer exists, has led some researchers to theorize that SCP-897 is not a person but a localized abstract anomalous effect, because Agent Blanks is mentally stable and willing to cooperate with the Foundation. SCP-897 has been downgraded to safe. We're almost done with the 10. There's the last 2 ones to read, and then that's it for the stream today. Fuck, that's in my head now. Meme-tick counter agent. So, usually a meme-tick effect is when it spreads easily. But this is a counter agent that stops things from spreading. Which is also... Oh, okay, this is a bit of a longer read. Hey, an SB444 is in here. Let's see here. If I recall correctly, I remember 444. The language of global harmony, yes. It's a meme-tick virus, yes. It takes form of a language when victims are exposed to it. They lose their ability to use any language they previously knew or learn any other language. Yeah, yeah, I remember this one. Okay, let's read. Information pertaining to the creation of an application of SCP-898 is restricted to Foundation personnel with level 3 clearance or higher. Experimentation with SCP-898 may only be conducted with the approval of a majority of the Overseer Council. SCP-898 is a meme-tick disorder specifically created by the Foundation researcher for the purpose of serving as a defense mechanism against other meme-tick or mind-affecting attacks. An SCP created by the Foundation itself. Now that's a rarity. That's not so often you get that, eh, Henry? Its development was undertaken as part of Operation Azure Skies in 1992. The object of Azure Skies was to design and employ a variety of devices to protect Foundation personnel in the field from supernatural threats that conventional technologies were not sufficient to guard against. SB-898 specifically was created over the course of 3 years of study and experimentation, taking information from analysis of already known meme-tick SBs to drive a Gestalt research and development program. The SB-898 project was overseen by Dr. Gringo during its run until its official cancellation on December 22nd, 1995. Oh, thank you. I'll tell you that. I have aqua con gas. Thank you very much. The conclusion of Dr. Grinko and his subordinates reached was was that since any memetic compulsion by definition involves the inspiration of an idea in the target's mind, the most obvious defense mechanism was another type of inspiration, preferably one that would create a more powerful compulsion and override the first meme. To that end, Gringo proposed that a simple biological motivated catalyst might be the solution according to the theory he developed. When a subject's mind that had already been infected by SB898 detected a potential memetic invasion, SB898 would automatically stimulate the subject's sympathetic ganglion to flood the subject's system with adrenaline and provoke a fight-or-flight response. The subject would then dismiss the invading meme in the process of either initiating an attack or in fleeing from the meme's effective range. Can you pronounce this sentence correctly? All the faith he had no effect on the outcome of his life. Yes. The method for detecting invading memes evolved around tracking sudden changes in the subject's limbic system. A common trend Gringo and his team has observed among memetic viruses known to the Foundation was that nearly all of them stimulated an unusually high amount of activity in the orbitofrontal cortex, and so SB898 was designed to activate in response to this stimulation. Or if the subject became consciously aware of a memetic attack, which would frequently start off orbitofrontal cortex activity as well, in order to ensure that SB898 would provide adequate protection against all types of memes, Gringo opted to form the core of this counter meme around all 5 senses. SB898 at its completion would include auditory, visual, olfactory, tactile, and taste-based elements. And all of them are data expunged. Okay. Addendum. 1st 17th 1995. After the inception is completed, a Class A amnestic must be administered in order to prevent looping, auto-activation, and related phenomena. See Incident Report 14 through 20, Dr. Gringo. Refer to documents data expunged for more details. Incident Report 14. On September 22nd, 1995, 4, not 5, the first complete draft of SB898 was administered to 30 D-Class subjects who were then locked into secure chamber number 34 in Site 12. A loudspeaker installed in the room began to play a recording of SB444 after all the subjects were safely locked behind the soundproof doors. 12 subjects... excuse me. 12 subjects attempted to break down the door, presumably in order to escape. 10 fled to the corners of the room and huddled in them, covering their ears, and 8 rushed to the speaker and attempted to tear it out of the wall. After some minutes, the latter subjects were successful, but they continued to show signs of extreme agitation after the recording was silent. The subjects began to attack each other approximately 8 minutes later when the door was unsealed and security teams entered 30 minutes after. The majority of the subjects were either dead or in critical condition, and the survivors had to be neutralized. Incident Report 15 on October 1st, 1994, the second complete draft. Modification or detailed in data expunged of SCP-898 was administered to 30 D-Class subjects who were then locked into the secure chamber 34 in Site 12. Once again, we do it again! We do it live! Wait, are we back to being doing riddles? I have a bed, I am weary. What do I need or what do I want? Sleep. Once again, a loudspeaker installed in the room began to play a recording of SB444. After all the subjects were safely locked behind the soundproof doors, the subject displayed very similar behavior to that described in Incident Report 898-14. Initially, but the agitation appeared to cease after Dr. Dahl, the technician overseeing the experiment, shut off the recording himself. Only way that the microphone in his... Okay, before you go, I want to just say thank you so much for watching the stream. I really appreciate that you watched this far and that you kept me company throughout this. Just so you're aware, usually what would happen is Wednesday I would have a stream with a friend, and then Thursday, Friday I would stream a video game, and then Saturday, Sunday I would read SCPs, like today. But my parents are coming next week, so there's a high chance I won't be streaming after Wednesday. there's a high chance I might not be streaming after Wednesday, and I won't be streaming for over a week. So just be aware that I will be back for one day, and then maybe be gone for a little bit. But yeah, other than that, hope you have a good night. The Afro is with you. Hopefully you heard that. After all, the subject was safely locked behind the soundproof doors. The subject displays very similar behavior to describe an incident. The technician of the experience, unaware that the microphone in his observation booth was turned on, he said aloud, "Well, it looks like the counter meme worked right this time. Some of the D-class subjects who were neither loudspeaker apparently heard this, as they began to show signs of agitation, proceeded to fight amongst themselves, one from each other, starting a riot that eventually encompassed all of the subjects. The security team that had to neutralize civil officers." Except from interview with Dr. Gringo, 12/13/1995. As near as we could tell, the problem was that the counter meme was treating itself as an invading meme. If a person infected with SB898 became consciously aware that they were infected with SB898, 898 would activate. We called this auto-activation. The first complete 898 treatment also had an unfortunate side effect of looping, as 898 would automatically detect itself once and have been activated once and would keep activating over and over again. Although we were able to work out the looping problem, in most cases we could not prevent or loop in the case of auto-activation, and we never found no problem. I am the shadows, watching and waiting to strike like snakes. Good night. Sleep well. The Afro's with you, bro. We could prevent in the loop, and we never found a solution to auto-activation. The best we could do was use a workaround with amnestics and try to make sure that the knowledge of SB898 wasn't generally known to the Foundation personnel. Incident Report 23 on March 21st, 1995. Trooper Rock MTFT. Yeah, I said it right. Beta 4-3 was watching television in the break room on Site 12. At approximately 4:03 p.m., he screamed, drew his sidearm, fired several rounds in the television. He surrounded to custody peacefully afterwards, but was unable to explain why he had felt a sudden urge of hostility from the television. Henry. It's just you and me again, Henry. Yeah. That was fun. Incident Report 27 on March 29th, 1995. Trooper Wall MTFT Beta 4-5 was sent on a mission to recapture SB Blank along with the rest of Beta 4. During the helicopter flight to SB Blank's location, she reportedly opened fire on her task force leader and other member of her squad when they tried to restrain her. The commander was wounded but survived. Trooper Wall was killed in the fight. MTFL Beta 4-1 reported that he had been giving the squad a warm-up speech when Wall attacked him. Except from interview with Dr. Gringo, 12/13/1990. Is that like a same one? Beta 4 was one of the several mobile task force teams that we infected with SB898. Once we thought we were finally to the point where unexpected bursts of aggression or panic would no longer be a problem. We were wrong, obviously. I think that we failed to take into account is the extent to which memetic propagation is inherent in human language. Certain keywords or phrases that we all use in everyday represent ideas and inspire emotions, and we take this for granted because we don't know how to communicate any other way. 898, though, somehow interprets certain natural memes as threats, even if they don't influence the mind any more strong than me telling you a joke. And since no two people in the world have exactly the same natural chemistry, there's no way to know in advance what kind of memes will be treated as threats for any given person. Well, that's a bit of backfire. SAP test log 4/3/1992. Subject D44589 infected with SB898, strain 3, and D44590 not infected. The first subject would be locked into a soundproof room and provided a written sample of SB444 and asked to copy it into another blank piece of paper. When the task was completed, a second subject would enter the room, and the first subject would verbally describe what it had written to the second subject. D55489 initially appeared to be unable to copy the text until he resorted to tracing over it. He was unable to describe what he had written to D44590 and finally resorted to showing D44590 well, had copied. D44590 was added along with D44589, while D44590 began to show symptoms of SCP-444 infection. D44589 did not, and eventually they become unable to communicate with each other. Okay. Oh god. I can feel my back hurting. Oh yeah. D44591 infected with SCP-898 strain 4 and D44592 not infected. See above. D44591 successfully copied the text and read it out loud to D44592. D44591 was added along with D44592, while D44592 began to show symptoms of SCP-444 infection. D44591 did not, but they were still able to have some limited communication. Excerpt from interview. Same thing as well. Early attempts at making a counter meme toyed with the idea of compelling the infected subject to be blind or pathetic towards incoming memes, but those had even more serious drawbacks than the Berserker serum. In the worst cases, our subject would become effectively blind and deaf, unable to see or hear or read or any language or sense anything else, with powerful mental association. In the best cases, the subject would still be effective carriers of any meme they absorbed, even if they were not personally affected by it. In short, we have failed. Looking back on the last 3 years, it seems to me as that all we've really done is figure out how to induce a lot of different mental disorders. 05 blank, I see. I see. And you think that this is the reason enough to abandon the project? Yes. Maybe not forever, but it's clear to me that now we just don't have the knowledge base to develop very effective memes of our own. Maybe in a few decades, when our knowledge of meme and neurology is a bit more developed, we can pick this up again, but for now I don't think there's anything else constructed that we can do. At least this guy is aware that they're just causing a lot of damage to people, and he's like, yeah, we should probably stop this. There we go. Last one, Lost Children. That could be Lost Children from Peter Pan. What about that, huh? Children at their own age. Please be short. That's a decent amount. Okay, there's also an SP 573. The Pipe. Yeah, isn't that the one? Human bonds when play children nearby animals will go and say things about the same time they will be. The one who's playing the flute. Yep. Okay, here we go. Euclid formally saved. See instant report. Last one. SCP-899 is contained in a rough patch of forest in Rocky Mountain National Park. The SCP-899 phenomenon has not been able to travel more than 5 meters beyond a standing living tree, thus the area has been isolated by creating a continuous fire break around the affected region. 3 park services cabins are staffed by the Foundation agents on the borders of the site for the purposes of preventing hikers and travelers from attempting to enter SCP-899. Agents are authorized to administer Class B and C amnestics to any trespassers. Children who enter SCP-899 cannot be recovered, and containment must be maintained by removing those who have knowledge of the child's last whereabouts, or by planting false evidence of death by natural causes of elsewhere in the region. That sounds very much like the Lost Boys from Peter Pan. Children that just vanished. Agents who come into physical contact with SCP-899 must undergo regular psychiatric evaluation. As the SCP-899 phenomenon has become increasingly more violent, all trees within 5 meters of the observation cabins have been removed. Personnel entering SCP-899 must do so in pairs and carry sidearms with custom iron ammunition. Description: SCP-899 is a psychic and telekinetic phenomenon that most commonly manifests as a group of hostile phantom children. That's not what I expected. Travelers in the area have reported being pursued and harassed by small shadowy figures that curse and throw rocks in an attempt to drive them out of the immediate area. The figures tend to be featureless, and it is usually difficult to determine if they possess any gender or even individual voices and behaviors. That is actually kind of creepy. But wasn't that the whole point of the Lost Boys in Peter Pan? That like you didn't know that they were children because they were just hidden in the forest and just bombard you with bullshit. failure to leave the area will result in an increase of aggressive behavior culminating in a direct physical attack by the entities. An adult who comes into physical contact with one of the entities will suffer the loss of all detailed memories prior to the onset of puberty. So they become a child again. General knowledge of family members and living conditions will remain, but persons who have been affected by this memory loss often display a significant change in personality. The most common symptoms are loss of impulsiveness and curiosity and negative response to attempts at humor. After affected persons also tend to become highly impatient with children regardless of their prior behavior. Okay, not what I expected. I thought they would become a child again, but no. Pre-adolescent children who come into contact with the entities will physically disappear, after which some or all of the entities may take on parts of the lost children's appearance. No attempt to communicate or find the whereabouts of a child lost in this way has yet been successful. Adolescents will have not fully matured past puberty or data expunged. By the way, is this the most common loss of impulsiveness and curiosity? Is this like supposed to be like how Captain Hook was like super aggressive and had no patience with the children? Although more detailed manifestations have been encountered within the area, no attempts to communicate with the entities within SB-899 have resulted in anything but attacks on Foundation personnel. Items made of iron or redacted are useful in warding off direct contact with the entities. However, as confrontation of the phenomenon is not required to contain it, no tools containing redacted have been allocated to SB-899. Travel through the area is also hindered by a spatial anomaly that makes land navigation difficult. Compasses and GPS navigation systems will give false direction, and trails through the underbrush will change course. Although there are occasional sounds of wildlife within the affected area, no wild animals or tracks have been observed within the range of SB-899's effect. Animals brought into the site are also subject to attacks by the entities, although they will not attempt to make physical contact. Experiment 1. Conducted March 23rd to May 15th, 2009, SB-573 was transferred to SB-899 to test its effect on the childlike manifestation. SB-573 is successful in driving away the manifestation, although the spatial anomaly that complicates land travel within the area remained. Due to the harmful effects of prolonged exposure, SB-573 was returned to containment at the conclusion of the experiment. SB-573 should be contained here with SB-899 as they can effectively be used to cancel each other out. There are no children or animals to be exposed to SB-573 inside this place. Please reconsider and return 573 to my care, Agent W. Blank. Incident Report 25. June 10, 2009, a new manifestation has been encountered in SB-899. The entity took the appearance of an adolescent male covered with bloody wounds. Rather than the normal interaction, it immediately attacked Dr. Blank, resulting in severe laceration and distinct bite marks on the arm, neck, and upper thigh. Dr. Blank is undergoing treatment and quarantine. Incident Report 26. June 13, 2009. Dr. Blank is released from quarantine with no permanent damage beyond scarring. Dr. Blank passed a psychiatric examination with expected results and has been able to give detailed recollection from his youth despite physical contact with SB-899. The new manifestation is being classified as -1. Incident Report 27. June 20th, 2009. -1 manifestation has been increased in number and have been observed in a direct conflict with other manifestation of SB-899. -1 has also attacked the cabin on the northern border and started a wire which resulted in the death of Agent Blank W. Although -1 can be deterred in the same manner as SB-899, the new manifestation display a significant increase in aggression with intent to kill. Research suggests that the change in SB-899's phenomena is related to exposure to SB-573. No further cross-SB experimentation with SB-899 is allowed at this time per 05 order. We've done it. We've finished the 800. This was the last one of the 800s and we have done it. Alright, here it is. Oh. There we go. Here's the rating. Online role-playing game. I mean, I'm into the D&D, so that was kind of fun to read. And also just seeing like how they changed was really, really fascinating to me. Camera disruption, that GIF that whoever added that, excellent. That set up the mood so fast for what this SCP does. Even though the text itself doesn't say much of what it does, like it says, like, it explains a little bit, but to think that it has like probably a lot more to offer, but we don't need to like read it, we can see it. That was clever. That was clever. Voodoo organ transplant. That guy is just taking what doesn't belong to him, but his body's like, it is mine. It's mine. All your organs, they're mine. My organ is failing me, so I'm taking yours. It's hardcore. Asexual. I think it's kind of funny how this guy's just like, yeah, no, fool, this. Listen, they say this is normal. Hands regrow, don't yours. I found it really funny, to be honest. I found it a very funny idea that he just like thinks that body parts growing back is a normal thing. But also just the idea of just like a little bit of skin falls off, and it's just like grows into him, a clone, a child. Speaking of children, lost children. Take the lost children from Peter Pan, make them ghosts, and spooky, scary. Speak no, hear no, see no. I think what I really find fascinating about this one is mostly who had those SCPs before. It's kind of dark hearing like how there was a cult or like a group of people that's just like, yeah, we're just gonna use this SCP that makes you deaf for 24 hours around schools and churches. And then of course a rapist had the one where people couldn't see anything, which is just messed up. It's just messed up. Because that means he could have just shown up and pretended to like help out, like, oh, it's like, everything okay? I can't see anymore, don't worry, I can guide you to a safe place. The next thing you know, repulsive shit. Very repulsive. Just disgusting. Mimtic counter agent. I think it's fascinating that the Foundation themselves tried to create this one. Which is interesting that the Foundation even wanted to create an SCP to begin with. Because, like, yes, it's an SCP that is supposed to prevent other SCPs from spreading, specifically Memtic one, or Memtic, or, yeah. But, the fact that it didn't work, and now they have they have a new SCP on their hands that they didn't have before, it's kind of funny, kind of ironic. The Rocket Surgeon, again, I think him and the Plague Doctor will get along. They'll be like, yeah, we heal people. Totally heal people. California field, it's a shame that it's not just a field that just grows things faster. Nah. It does things to your body. Either you eat your own organs, or something explosive. Some spontaneous combustion from the sound of it. Everyone's spreadsheet, even though that's very low here in the order, I think it's pretty good. I think it's a very creative one, where it's a spreadsheet with every person's status, talents, skills, history. Well, again, at the end it depends, because it doesn't show all that for every single one. It just shows something random from every single one. But it also seems to have like some that don't really seem to indicate what the person has done, is doing, can do. You know. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed today's stream. We finished the 800 of SCPs. Isn't that wild? Well, as I said before with a little Country Luxembourg, I will stream on Wednesday, but I can't make any promises that I will stream on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this week that's coming up, and next week, because my parents are here. So I don't have a second table. I could arrange by getting a small table in my room, and then hopefully the the Ethernet cable is long enough to reach there without, you know, causing too much obstruction. I could try to do that so I can still stream and edit. Oh yes, oh yeah, shit, editing is also gonna be a problem. Fuck, I didn't think about that. Yeah, we'll see. I'll figure something out. But for now, I hope you all enjoyed today's stream. As I said, we finished the 800s. A milestone has reached. We will soon start the 900s. I wish you all a good morning, afternoon, and evening, and the Afro is with you.